Hey everybody, this is our first video back. The goal of this video is just to walk you through the new syllabus. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. Here we are on the Canvas website. The whole idea is that everything that has changed is highlighted in yellow. I've removed some unimportant things, and then we'll move as quickly as possible into the next video so that we can get back on track as much as possible. Now, obviously, we've amended this due to Virginia Tech's move to entirely online teaching. I say that revisions are still in progress, but that's because I'm still hammering out a little bit of the details with the schedule in terms of how some things are being broken down. But you'll see that populate through the week. And I'm going to try and get everything up as quickly as possible so that, hey, you get ahead of steam, you get a break, you want to run forward and do the rest of the semester in 1 week, go for it, whatever. The most important thing here at the top of the page is, of course, that there's no in-person office hours. We're not allowed to meet with students. We're not even allowed in academic buildings. And, of course, we want to prevent the spread of infection. So, of course, there's no in-person office hours. I will be doing pretty regular live streams on YouTube. I've already done a couple of those just to test it out. I think it worked out really well. I'm even going to offer a little bit of extra credit to incentivize people to come out and actually sort of communicate. I feel like it's important for people to feel like they're still part of a community, and that is maybe going to be accomplished a little bit by those live streams. Now, live streams I'm calling office hours. You can come in and ask questions about any assignment, anything in the course, or just chat and hang out. I'm usually playing video games or something just to pass the time, which is frankly what I did in my office waiting on students to show up to. Let's not beat around the bush. But of course, I will also be very much available for voice and or video chat for student conferences by appointment. Just send me an email. Obviously, my schedule is pretty wide open right now, and we can make it work. If you prefer Google Hangouts, Zoom, Skype, whatever, we'll make it work. But I want to scroll you through the course overview. Specifically here, the big thing is that we're going to be focusing on a new assignment, no longer working on the proposal. I mentioned in that previous video why I was leaning towards canceling that, and I have made that decision. Go watch that video if you want to sort of see where my head was at. But in the next video, I'm actually going to walk you through the new assignment sheet for that project. And that full assignment sheet is available here. Now, the important thing to note is that when it comes to grades, everything was based on a point valuation system, and then your final grade would just be the percentage of points that you received. Now, because we're canceling the segmented proposal, we're going from about 250 points down to just 100. And so that's going to make every point sort of have more weight to it. And so in order to mitigate that, I am going to make sure that we have weekly checkpoint assignments as well as some extra credit opportunity. I already mentioned the extra credit opportunity for coming and participating in the live stream, but I'm also going to create a peer review workshop for the end of the semester, and I'll show you that on the schedule, where people can share each other's papers and provide feedback for extra credit. Now, details will be coming on how we're actually going to accomplish that. But in the meantime, know that there is going to be something to mitigate some of that points loss. You're still going to get all the points you've already earned. It's just there's going to be fewer in-game points. In terms of course policies, I just want to reiterate that most of these are still in effect in terms of community, in terms of student attitudes and those kinds of things. It's just the things related to attendance or in-class expectations that are no longer relevant. So, of course, we can skip down those. The only thing that I wanted to really reiterate are some of the services. We talked about some of the centers that are available on campus, and of course you can't visit those, but many of these are still available over the phone. In particular, Cook Counseling is providing counseling services via phone, via Zoom. So please don't hesitate to still contact them. Just because you're not on campus doesn't mean that you don't have access to some of those resources. And I also think that Services for Student Disabilities, that department is even more important now because suddenly we have a whole different set of circumstances. And so what may not have been prohibitive in an in-person classroom may suddenly be much more devastating. So working online, if you have ADHD or dyslexia, suddenly those become way more impairing. And so make sure you reach out if you haven't already, and let me know if something like that, even if it's not, written on a piece of paper and signed by someone in a very important suit, doesn't mean that I can't listen and be flexible. So keep those in mind. Writing Center as well, still open for video conferencing. So reach out if you ever want any help with those things. Let's just skip down to the bottom here with our course schedule. I've left the original schedule here for now. I want to still draw some things from that, and I'll cut that down to where we actually left off. But if you go down to the very bottom, you'll see the actual post-spring break online semester schedule. So that's where we are now. Now that we've returned from spring break, and I put return in quotation marks, we are switching to a weekly asynchronous schedule. That means every week I'm going to give you a list of material, including video, lecture pages, assignment sheets, and a single checkpoint task to turn in at the end of the week to show me that you've worked through the material for that week and that you're able to communicate that you've been engaged in the course. Everything is due to be finished by the end of the week, each Friday at 11:59 p.m. I want to keep it good and regular so it's easy to follow. You can see this week, March 23rd through the 27th, how the schedule is going to be laid out. Now, if you scroll down, you see there's a bunch of placeholders here. This is where that still in revision aspect comes into play. But this week, we have our lecture notes. I have some placeholder pages here. I'm going to be posting all of that tonight and in the morning. This video, the syllabus refresher, is going to be available. We're also going to be talking about the final essay project, the new final essay project, which is I'm calling the Personal Space Rhetorical Analysis Essay. More details on that in a future video. And then also the assignment sheet for the checkpoint assignment I want you to turn in this Friday. This Friday, the checkpoint assignment is a note-taking assignment. It's fairly lightweight, and I'll cover that in a future video as well. I always have supplementary reading available for students that might help them accomplish individual tasks. And so I'm going to put that there. Supplementary reading is optional, I suppose. It's there to help you out, but maybe in the time where you have less face time with me would be a good time to utilize that additional reading material to make sure your headspace is in the game. And so here we have under assignments due, there's actually 2 assignments. Checkpoint 4 was actually originally due last Monday. It was originally due immediately following spring break, and it's based on materials from before the spring break related to the proposal. That is due tonight, Monday night. There's always some flexibility in terms of people dealing with technology issues and that kind of stuff. But I'm having that due earlier in the week just so we can get it out of the way. It's just an MLA research list, and that way we can clear that off the decks and move forward with the new assignment, which the checkpoint assignment number 5 will be due on Friday. Now, as always, you're going to see full details every single week. You will see that soon as I populate that this week. And you can see that the final essay is due Monday, May the 11th. That's finals week. by 5 p.m. We've got plenty of time to get this assignment done, and I will explain that new assignment to you very shortly in the next video. Thanks.